That was awesome, everybody. There he is, Scott. I didn't even have to. There he is, ladies and hence and ladies. It is Scott Goldberg. Um, I'm off. I'll see you guys in about 15.
Thanks, Justin. Scott Goldberg, you there?
I'm here. How you guys doing? How you doing?
Doing great. Oh my God, I know where you are. I'm so excited. Hold on. I'm talking to myself. Hold on, Noel. All right, so let me get this straight. You and your brothers moved to California. You opened Fresh Brothers, and where are you now?
I'm back where I started at. Unfortunately, it was the best circumstance that got me here this last couple of weeks, but I'm back in my original shop well before my brothers or anyone else was in the pizza business with me. Back in Miller Pizza Company, about 20 miles outside of Chicago in Miller Beach, about a half a mile to a mile from Lake Michigan. And I bought this little place in 1985 with my first semester of college tuition money, and it's still in the family.
Unbelievable. Now, hold on. Now, are you in Indiana? Uh-oh, he's frozen. Scott, how's your connection over there? That's good.
Should be good. On Wi-Fi, it should be okay.
What state are you in? I'm a little hazy on how all those places come together.
I'm in Indiana, so if you follow Chicago out of Lake Michigan, and it kind of, as you follow the lake around, I'm at the exactly the southern tip of Lake Michigan.
Got it.
So I'm about 17 miles from the Illinois border, which is Chicago, and I'm about 20 miles from the Michigan border if you just follow it up the other side.
Awesome. All right. There's a lot we can talk about. Last year, we talked for an hour. We don't have quite so much time today. So, one of the reasons I brought you on is that I feel like for me, you're one of the most active guys that I know because you're always moving, you're always shaking, you're always covered in flour. So do me a favor. Explain to us how in a pandemic you were able to open 2 shops last year and you're planning on opening 3 more by the end of this year. I can't wrap my brain around that.
Well, the biggest piece is going to be that I have a great support team that we've built around us, and we brought, or our ownership brought in a true pizza guy that's built some companies, saved some companies, fixed some companies, and he's done all 3. His name's Jeff Goodman. He's on the National Pizza Advisory Board for the National Restaurant Association since day one, I believe, since they've had that pizza board. But so he was brought in to really make that happen, and honestly, I thank him almost every time I see him for him being here through the last year and a half or the last 15 months, especially because I don't know where it would be right now without him. It's been a huge plus for us to have him. But what we kind of decided about halfway through last year, as business was not slowing down for us, it was actually sort of picking up for us because we were a pizza delivery service in most of LA, Orange County, a little bit in San Diego. And we found a Kitchen United mix in Pasadena and put a little spot in there. So it was a minimal investment for a really good shot at opening up a new store. At the same time, which kind of got us into the Pasadena market that we weren't in. We also expanded our commissary and warehouse. Noel, where you helped me make dough tweak the dough a few years ago, and we put a little carry-out shop in there. And it wasn't in the best place, right? Because it's really in a corporate area, and a lot of people weren't working. It's all airport related. The airport wasn't operating very much. But what we found was that we were able to work our way into like Inglewood and into Hawthorne a little bit, into Westchester from there. We tapped into a whole new market of customers we didn't have, and we used third-party delivery to kind of get it going. And our whole goal is to do as much native delivery as we can, do as much business as we can with our own operation and our own delivery. But we've also embraced third party because we know it has a good outreach for us. I guess our main goal is to get business through our own delivery and through the third party delivery, but eventually get our customers to order direct from us and not use the third parties.
Yeah, you have a very interesting business model. I remember before I started working for you, I kind of scouted one of your locations, and I could not believe how many people were actually coming in to pick up your pizza. How did you make that happen?
I think it just depends on the store. For sure, Marina Del Rey, which I think you walked into originally, has just a tremendous number of walking traffic. But we do have, through the pandemic, we did still keep a huge piece of our pickup business, but we created a really great delivery business that we didn't have. And I think a lot of it was that as the pandemic went on, people realized that pizza is probably the best deliverable food out there, or in the top couple, if not the best. And I think what happened was it's almost like the standard for delivery went down as people were ordering sushi, ice cream, things that maybe don't deliver well. And they're like, wait a minute, why aren't we ordering Rush Brothers or any other pizza shop when I know that pizza's good today, it's good reheated tomorrow, and it just doesn't have the same impact, of quality control that other foods do when they sit for a long period of time.
Absolutely. So I have a lot of questions for you, but I want to go back to that oven, right? So what's interesting about our relationship is that I feel like there's a lot of worlds that are kind of combining here. I know that you and your brother, maybe even your wife, met Nicole at the SoCal Gas Company in Downey when you were testing ovens back in the day. So you started with deck ovens and then moved to what? XLT? How does it work?
I started with this oven right behind me. I bought this oven in 1985 at a City of Gary school kitchen auction. They were closing a couple of their schools up and they were dumping all the kitchen equipment. I bought this double 980 stack Logic for $400. And I don't think I've put another 400 into it in 36 years. But what we did do is, and we kept it because we do have the XLT 30 I can't. My head's drawing a blank right now, but double stack, 36-inch wide. I think they're 3650, 3670s. We got a couple of different ones, but we kept this oven here because one of the things we do at our store locally in Miller Beaches, we still do Italian beef, and we cook inside rounds like overnight in this thing. Then we chill them, slice them, drop them in the gravy, and we make a great Italian beef sandwich. My workers always thought we need this oven for backup because the workers here never ever cooked in a conveyor oven. So when we brought the XLTs in here, it just killed it. We found out early on, we used Middleby Marshall for the first couple stores. And then we went over and saw Nicole at the gas company, probably 10, 11, 12 years ago. And boy, what a difference it made. We were able to find a pretty good bake. My goal is I want to see a pizza cook the same way it cooks in this bad boy right here, but in 5.5, 6 minutes. And we've got it down now. I've actually tweaked a couple. I've tweaked all of our ovens, created more since Noel, since you were with me making dough, tweaking our dough. I've now converted all of our ovens to having more bottom heat and less top heat. And I basically went from store to store, did all 20 stores with my general manager and their assistant managers, and showed them we were able to crank the temperature up, go a little faster, and we're not burning the cheese because I've created more bottom heat and less top heat. And we just put in the XLT H oven, which is the newest one. It's only in our Pasadena Cloud Kitchen, or it's Kitchen United. And that oven, we're cooking at like 4 minutes and 45 seconds. And it actually might be the best bake we have out of any of our ovens.
Wow. You know what's so interesting about that? I mean, there's a lot of things, but a lot of people think that these Impinger ovens do the baking, right? That, there's a lot of labor involved and training involved with the deck ovens. So they switch over to these ovens thinking that the ovens are going to do the cooking. But really, it's a kind of a lifelong endeavor to dial in your pizza. And you've never given up on that, have you?
I haven't. And I got, again, going back to Jeff again, our CEO, it's like, he said to me, dude, I need you to find a minute faster and a better bake. And my first response to him was, well, I just don't think. And right about there, I just said, okay, I'll get it done. Because, that's my expectation. And I know from XLT, actually from going to we actually originally went, after we saw Nicole, we actually flew out to, I think they're in Omaha, Nebraska. And what I learned there was something really interesting. Most pizzerias, like Independence, we get an oven and we find our pizza, a way to make our pizza work in it, right? When the big four, when the Pizza Huts of the world, Domino's, they go in there, they get the oven, and then they start to create a pizza around it, which is like so backwards, yet that's the way they're able to cook a stuffed crust pizza, a deep dish pizza, skin, and and they get, no matter what they cook, they've created their pizza to work in that oven.
Absolutely.
So I want to do that. I don't think any of us on this want to do that. But what we want to do is get the most efficiency possible out of it. And I never thought I could ever get a pizza to cook in 6 minutes or 4:45, the way that I cook a thin crust pizza in this bad boy here in 22 minutes, and sometimes 32 minutes on Friday night at 7:00.
Amazing. We were talking yesterday, and you were saying that maybe some of the staff or the manager is a little bit reluctant at your first location to make any changes, but you actually made a recent change with regard to refrigeration. Can you tell people about that?
Yeah, so actually the refrigeration change is actually in this location.
Oh, that location.
Yeah, at Miller Pizza. All of our, since our dough all gets made at that commissary and gets to the stores at a really cold temperature without much rise, that it really holds up well with the cooler door opening and closing over that day or so. But here at Miller Pizza, these guys are killing it, dude. They're averaging 300 to 400 pizzas a day in Miller Beach, out of one little location, just a mom and pop shop. 6 days a week. We're closed on Sunday since COVID started, just to give everyone a day off. But what I told these guys is that they were telling me, our dough's not consistent anymore. And what I realized is that they're going in and out of that cooler door 400 times a day. Sometimes it's 90 degrees in that kitchen, and the dough is fluffing up, going, pick bigger, smaller, fluffing up, shrinking down. So I called my general manager and my dad and my stepmom, who've been running this thing since I went to California. And I said, what you guys need is you need a little roll-in cooler where that dough comes out of the mixer the same way it does at our commissary for our 20 LA stores, and it goes directly into that cooler. And now you're going to stop that rise. And instead of pulling it out of the cooler that's being opened up 400 times a day, it's going in a separate cooler that, by the way, is beautiful. This little dining room. We had this little train station dining room here. I used to have 60 seats, then 50 seats, then 40 seats, then 20 seats. Now 0 seats. I'm actually in one of the 5 extensions of kitchen space we needed, and eliminated dining room, which will always make more money per seat by not having a seat there. More money per square footage. And by putting that little roll-up cooler in, where they have 2 racks and they pull 2 or 3 trays out at a time, their dough is 99% consistent compared to where it was before that roll-up cooler was in there.
Amazing.
That cooler is always 36 degrees, always.
Wow, amazing. Well, Scott, we only have a little bit more time, but I wanted to. There's that bell. Good. I know that you're with your family right now, and you're spending some good quality time with them. So I appreciate you taking some of that quality time and spending it with us. I feel like pizza's a big family, and you're part of my family. So anytime you want to come talk, whether it's 15 minutes like today or an hour like last year, you're absolutely welcome.
Thank you, but 30 more seconds. I want to say that it's gonna be tricky for me to say it, but I lost my father last Wednesday, and he's been out of everything I've ever done in business, everything I've done, everything I've learned, every pizza move, everything that everyone's ever taught me in business. Nobody was a better mentor, a better father, a better friend, or really a hero to me that I will never be replaced. But I could tell you, after the last week and the people that I heard stories from and the people we've been around in my family, I thought I was the only one that really was so much improved by being around my dad the last 50 years. But turns out there's hundreds of people that he touched that take some of the lessons he gave in life and made us all better people. So I love my dad for that. I really do.
That's beautiful. And there's probably a metaphor in there somewhere about going back to your roots and pizza being a metaphor for that. So I'm not going to say it. I think you said it better than I ever could.
Thank you guys for everything. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Scott. We can't wait to come hang out with you pretty soon. Okay.
All right, man. I'm there.
All right, buddy. Thanks, bud. Always good. Always good. Nicole, what are you thinking here?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention something to everybody. Anybody out there who's looking for conveyor ovens, they can get rebates if they live in the state of California and many other states across the nation. So I'm going to put the California rebate information in the chat, but they can also check the Energy Star website. Save a little money, put money in your pocket. So don't leave that money on the table. Thanks, Justin.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much. Guys, that was great. I just love being in these pizzerias with everybody. They're sharing their secrets with us. Remember, it's not necessarily about that recipe. It's more about the process and those variables in your pizza equation to get your pizza where you want it to be.